Alright, so now we're going to start on the UVs for our character, and first thing we need to do is add a texture map on basically the whole object. We're just going to use one map. So to do this, we're just going to assign a new material, and then we're going to go to the Arnold shader, and then we're just going to do a standard surface. And for this, if we go over here to the attribute editor, we will actually just change the name of this surface, and we're just going to name this mascot, and then either matte or text, either one. I usually just like to use matte just because it's I use that for material, and so from there I'll just hit enter, and then I'll also bring up the full weight to 1 and just leave the color white for now. And from here we should be able to see him exactly how just one flat texture. That's exactly how we want to see it. And then from here we can actually get started on unwrapping him. So the way I like to think about this is that when we unwrap this guy, we want to think about where our seams are going to be, okay? And so with shirts, I usually like to cut the seam right down the middle. So I'll have a seam here that runs along here, and then also down, and then down the arm, underneath the arm, down to here. And then we'll also cut around this way, so it's just all one piece. So if we turn on wireframe unshaded, which is Alt S, okay, Alt S, oops, not Windows S, we want to Alt S. All right, so if we don't have that on, we just Alt. Oh, that's Alt 5. My sight is obviously bad. So with that in mind, it's just Alt 5, okay? So Alt 5 turns on the shaded on. So the way that I will cut this is like so, okay? So first thing we're going to do, we're going to want to bring up our UV editor. And so that brings up the toolkit. And we can actually just kind of shrink this editor down for now. It's actually just going to hang out in the bottom left corner. And so from here, I'm just going to actually go to edge mode, and then going to just double click this guy, and it should select the whole loop. And oh, actually, the first thing we want to do is actually put a texture map. So we want to, not a texture map, but we want to actually assign a mapping to this guy. And so usually the first thing I usually just do like sometimes I'll just do just a flat camera based. So if you just go to, say, front view, and go here and say camera based. Actually, we want to make sure that we're in object mode. Object mode first, and then go to UV camera based. Alright, so if we were to look at this inside the UV editor, so we can open that up. Let's close this down, and then open up our UV editor. Okay, you can see that basically it's just a flat, just shooting it on flat. And that's okay for now. We're going to actually map all these exactly how we want them. And so from here, we can actually just go to edge mode, and also perspective view. And if we double click that there, we can actually go to cut and sew, and we're going to cut right there, and we should be able to see that. Actually, let me see. So select those edges, and then I'm actually going to flip to the UVs, and I'm going to say cut. And so here, actually, we should be able to see that from the edge mode. So let me back that up a little bit. Undo, undo. So here, I just want to be able to cut that guy right there. Cut that edge. And so we should be able to see this. Yeah, so we do, the border edges are showing properly. So, actually I want to turn that on so I can see the border edges. And so in the Windows settings and preferences, then I believe it's under modeling. I just need to find it. Maybe under settings or under polygons. I believe it's under polygons. I just want to be able to see those border edges. There we go. So just make sure that we turn those on. And if we go F12, I'm not quite sure why I'm not seeing. Maybe under this viewport, I just want to check something right here real fast. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing that border edge. Maybe because I have wireframe unshaded on. I'm not quite sure. So let me just make sure this UV